Now, we have mentioned during this week, and I think we are going to conclude now with this halachot. And the halachot is hafrashat challah, to separate the challah from the dough. And we have said that you need to have 1 kilo, 560 grams, less than 3.5 pounds of flour. And this is called the mitzvah of separating challah. This challah should then be destroyed these days, in the time of the Kohanim, when they were in the Tahara, in the time of the Bet HaMikdash. You to give a Kohen, it was part of the matanot kehuna, the gift that you give to the Kohen, the same as you give maaser to the Levi, and you give terumah to the Kohen. This one is as well, because this is how the Torah said. When you make the dough in Eretz Israel, then you give this to the Kohanim. Now, we said that if you have dough that belongs to several women, yes, and for example, you have the amount that you need to take a frashat challah, but what happens is, if you have the dough for your family, and all those that are going to partake of that dough, once you make it, bake it, and you make it into bread, it's fine, as long as you have got that 1,560, then you take challah, you say a bracha as well. But let's say that you have got here 3 women are taking this dough, and they are, one of them is baking, one of them is making the dough, kneading it, and then each one is going to take a part of it for themselves and then bake it. In that case, then you are not, you don't take challah, you don't say a bracha, definitely, because each one of them has less than the portion that's supposed to take challah from. Because now they are separate people completely, and this is completely different. Now, we have mentioned also that the dough meant for cake, and you make a dough. It could be to bake challah, to bake bread, but then you can make a dough to make cakes. And cake, what does it have a cake? Depends. We say you have supposed to have at least water in it. So no matter even if you have just grape juice or oil, besides, as long as you have the water, then you say a beracha with it completely. But, and this is also the Shulchan Aruch says that if there is no water at all in the dough, and only fruit juice, oil, and the like, one should separate challah without reciting a blessing. This is something that I made a comment before, and I think wrongly I said that you don't even have to say, you don't have to be saying a beracha, nor separate, but you have to separate without a beracha. So even if you make cake without any water, you have to just separate the challah when you have 1,560, but you don't have to say a bracha. Now, dough that meant for frying or for cooking, you make a dough, and that's the purpose of it. Now, we say to be cooked or fried requires separating challah according to Rabbeinu Shimshon. According to Rabbeinu, separate challah, but according to Rabbeinu Shimshon, Rambam, and Rosh, such a dough is exempt from challah completely for the Torah, and refer to the mitzvah using the term, when you shall eat from the bread of the land, and bread is only considered such when it is baked, as the Torah states, 10 women shall bake your bread in one oven. So the Shulchan Aruch ruled according to this, but only Rabbeinu Tam said that you should, each dough requires separating challah, even though without a beracha. So even if you do have doughs, your intent is to cook or to fry it, you have to, according to Rabbeinu Tam, you have to separate the challah, but don't say a beracha. But according to the Shulchan Aruch, you don't have to even separate challah. So, and what happened is that the Ben Ish Chai decided that because the Shulchan Aruch mentioned the Rabbeinu Tam, that type of position that you should separate the challah, even though you should not say the beracha. So the fact that he mentioned it is better to be machmir and to separate the challah. And this is what we really do. But minadin, you don't even have to separate the challah. Okay, as we said, however, according to the letter of the law, this dough is exempt from challah. And Maran, you know, the rules accordingly. Now, what about donuts? Yes, we unfortunately we don't have much with donuts, you know. But so donuts, okay. Based on what we have said, dough used to fry donut is exempt from challah, while our Ashkenazi brethren act stringently by removing challah without a blessing. And if you summarize everything, dough that will split among several women, and each woman will get less than the prescribed amount for separation of challah, is exempt from challah. But dough meant to bake cakes, cookies, or pastries that contain water must have challah separated, and you say a bracha with it if you have got the amount 1.560. Now, if there is no water in the dough, challah must be separated without reciting a blessing, without reciting the bracha. And a dough meant for cooking or frying is exempt from challah according to the Sephardi custom, while Ashkenazi custom separating challah from it without a blessing. And we are going to conclude now with all the halachot of separating challah.